Welcome to the Law Offices of Chris M. Ingram podcast. We are excited to launch a new 4-part series on the National Interest Waiver NIW green card. This is an excellent opportunity for professionals with advanced degrees to self-sponsor their green cards. So let's dive into part 3 of this 4-part series. Before we get started, we would like to thank attorney Chris Ingram and his dedicated legal team. They did a great job researching and preparing this material for us, and they would love to work with you. Disclaimer. Please note that this podcast should not be regarded as providing legal advice specific to your situation. If you'd like to make a free consultation, please visit www.breakthroughusa.com. We are thrilled to be able to present this topic for you today. Okay, so today we're jumping into part 3 of our deep dive on the National Interest Waiver. If you've been following along, you'll remember part 2. We really got into the nuts and bolts of the NIW petition process, talked about defining those national interest fields, which is, crucial. And we stressed how important, really how vital experienced legal counsel is for navigating all this complexity. We also introduced Aisha, the AI ethicist. Her case really showed the kind of intense scrutiny these petitions can sometimes face. So today, we're picking up Aisha's story, then we'll kind of pivot to look at common reasons NIW petitions hit roadblocks, and then finally we'll introduce a brand new case study, someone facing these challenges right now.
Exactly. And I know a lot of you are wondering about Aisha, did she get her visa in the end? Well, our researchers confirmed, yes, a really positive outcome for her NIW petition, which is great news. But as we discuss, her journey, especially that consular interview, it involves some pretty significant scrutiny. The USCIS officers, they had real questions about her long-term commitment to the U.S., like how specific was it? They really needed her to articulate very clearly how her global work in AI ethics would translate into concrete, sustained benefits, specifically for the American public.
Right. Bridging that gap between global impact and specific U.S. benefit, that sounds tricky.
It absolutely is. They needed to see that unique U.S. national interest clearly defined. And that's really where her legal team strategy became absolutely invaluable. They didn't just react, they had a plan. To tackle those concerns head on, they used a multi-pronged approach with really specific high-impact evidence. First, they submitted authenticated records from the WHO, the World Health Organization.
Okay, official validation.
Exactly. Not just a list of things she did, but official external validation of her global contributions. That lends huge credibility,
That third-party proof makes a difference.
Immense difference. It validates her expertise and the real-world impact of her work internationally. Then second, they presented this really comprehensive plan. It detailed her dedication specifically to U.S. public health.
So not just generic intentions.
Not at all. Our attorneys basically crafted a detailed roadmap. It outlined specific projects, anticipated outcomes, collaborations within the U.S., the whole 9 yards. Think of it like a business plan, but for her national contribution. It showed the how, not just the what, how she'd integrate and contribute here.
Okay, that makes sense, showing the practical steps.
But maybe the most critical piece was the personalized coaching Aisha got from her counsel. Attorney Chris M. Ingram worked directly with her on this.
Ah, the interview prep.
More than just prep, really. It was about deeply understanding the officer's potential concerns and helping her articulate her commitment with total clarity and conviction, a seamless narrative. The key thing they helped her grasp was that USCIS wants to see how past work translates into future, tangible, unique benefit for the U.S.
Right. Connecting the dots for them.
Precisely. Our attorneys helped her stress exactly how her AI ethics work, especially with public health data, directly aligned with and supported the CDC here. She can explain how her AI models for predicting outbreaks would boost the CDC's prevention efforts, a clear, unique contribution to a vital national priority.
Making that explicit link to a U.S. agency, that sounds crucial.
It absolutely was, bridging her experience to specific U.S. government goals.
Yeah.
And the outcome. Thankfully, a success. July 2025, her petition was approved.
Fantastic.
Yeah, she's since adjusted her status. She's now actively advising the CDC. Her AI model is genuinely enhancing our national outbreak prevention and response. Her work is literally helping safeguard public health nationally, fulfilling that national interest promise.
Wow. That's incredible impact. And Aisha actually gave a testimonial, didn't she?
She did. She said, Chris's team was my anchor. Which is powerful. It speaks volumes about the support needed during such a stressful process.
Yeah. Anchor really captures that feeling of needing stability when everything feels uncertain. That's a great message for potential applicants. Okay, so Aisha's story is really inspiring. It shows that even with tough scrutiny, success is possible with the right strategy. But her journey also highlights the challenges. So let's unpack this a bit. Let's pivot from her success to some common pitfalls. What are the main reasons NIW petitions get denied? And how can you, as an applicant, build a petition that's really resilient? To explore this and introduce another real-world scenario, we're going to meet Chidi. He's a German entrepreneur, a fintech visionary actually, and his dream is currently facing a critical hurdle with USCIS. His story will help us understand what can go wrong and, importantly, how to potentially fix it.
It's so important for anyone thinking about an NIW to understand these common roadblocks. Our researchers have really dug into this. They've identified the primary reasons USCIS denies these petitions. First off, and maybe the most frequent, is weak evidence.
Okay, weak evidence. What does that actually mean in this context?
Well, in the framework of the matter of Dhanasar criteria, it's not just about having few documents. It's about failing to establish that strong nexus, that clear, logical link between your work and the national interest. For instance, maybe the recommendation letters are too general. They praise character, but don't detail specific high-level impact.
Right, like a generic reference letter.
Exactly. Or maybe you submit academic papers but don't adequately show their reach, their citation impact, or how they're actually being used in the field. It's not enough to just say you're important. You need clear, compelling, often quantifiable proof that your proposed endeavor has substantial merit and national importance. And you need to show you're well-positioned to advance it, and that waiving the labor certification is beneficial to the U.S. Weak means the evidence just doesn't connect those dots persuasively for USCIS. Let's dig into Dhanasar a bit more there. For that well-positioned to advance part, it's not just about your past achievements. You need a detailed, feasible plan specifically for the U.S., outlining concrete steps, resources, potential partners, a realistic timeline for implementation here.
So showing you've really thought through the practicalities in the U.S. context.
Precisely. It shows you have the capacity to execute. And for national importance, the evidence has to go beyond just local impact. It needs to show a direct benefit to multiple states, or a significant chunk of the U.S. population, or address a recognized national priority.
Like the scientist example, developing a drug for a widespread disease, not just a local clinic issue.
Exactly. You have to anticipate how USCIS interprets each prong and build your case to speak directly to those definitions. Okay, second big reason, misrepresentation. This is something USCIS takes incredibly seriously.
Yeah, that sounds bad. Even unintentional errors.
Even unintentional ones, yes. Any perceived misrepresentation, even an oversight, can completely jeopardize the whole application.
Yeah.
USCIS demands absolute integrity. This could be small things, a discrepancy in employment dates, a qualification listed differently on a resume versus a transcript, or even just, exaggerating achievements without solid, verifiable proof.
Wow, so meticulous accuracy is key.
Absolutely paramount. Complete honesty in every single detail. A minor error viewed as misleading can lead to denial, maybe even future immigration bars. Every piece of information needs to be vetted and verifiable. And the third major issue, insufficient national impact. This is really common. Applicants might be doing genuinely impactful work, but they fail to clearly articulate the national scope and significance.
So they might be a star locally, but haven't shown the wider U.S. benefit.
Exactly. Many talented people excel regionally. But an NIW requires impact that crosses state lines, affects a significant portion of the U.S. population, or tackles a critical national interest. Think of that physician example, great work in their hospital, but for NIW, they need to show how their research or a new method they developed impacts public health nationally, or addresses a national healthcare crisis.
The clue's in the name, right? National Interest Waiver.
Precisely. The benefit has to be demonstrably national in scope. You have to illustrate how the U.S. as a whole benefits from you being here and doing your work.
Okay, this brings us to something really critical right now. Our researchers are highlighting that the environment for NIWs in 2025 involves significantly more USCIS scrutiny. This isn't just a feeling, it's a real shift. And what does that mean for you, the applicant? Well, first, processing times. They've noticeably stretched out. We're talking 12 to 18 months now. That's a long time to be waiting.
A very long time. Adds a lot of uncertainty.
Definitely. But it's not just the wait. This increased scrutiny means the need for robust documentation isn't just a suggestion anymore. It's an absolute must. And that means going way beyond a basic checklist. The evidence needs to be comprehensive, organized, and incredibly persuasive. It has to leave zero doubt about your qualifications, your project's national importance, and your ability to actually do what you propose.
You almost need to anticipate their questions before they ask them.
Exactly. Proactively address potential concerns. Build an airtight case from the start.
Precisely. And USCIS, quite reasonably, has a strong focus on fraud prevention. This emphasis can sometimes lead to extra scrutiny for certain applicants or specific types of cases. Our researchers noted an interesting point regarding Chidi's case. While Germany itself isn't usually seen as a high-fraud country, USCIS uses internal risk assessment tools. These tools sometimes flag applications for extra review based on various factors, and national origin can be one data point, even if indirectly.
So even if someone's case is strong, other factors might trigger more questions.
It's possible. It highlights why legal teams need to be aware of these broader agency processing patterns and how they might affect a specific case, regardless of individual merit. It's complex.
Requires strategic thinking, then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why our legal team proactively counters these potential areas of scrutiny with what we call strategic petitions.
Okay, what does a strategic petition involve?
It means anticipating these deeper levels of inquiry. Building a case that's so ironclad, so full of corroborating evidence and strong arguments, that it leaves almost no room for questions about fraud risk. This might mean submitting extra layers of verification, maybe more detailed financial records or more extensive third-party validations than usual.
Going above and beyond the minimum requirements.
Exactly. Constructing an unassailable narrative of authenticity and merit. Backing up every claim with undeniable proof, leaving nothing to chance.
So wrapping this section up, what does all this mean for you if you're considering an NIW? It means understanding these common denial reasons, knowing about the increased scrutiny. It's not just academic knowledge. It's crucial for preparing a strong, resilient petition. It's about building a case that not only meets the basic criteria, but also anticipates challenges and can withstand really rigorous examination. Being ready for a marathon, not just a sprint.
You finally got your family together on a H-1B. Your American dream begins. Your employer files for your EB-2 green card, but the wait is over 11 years. As the years go by, frustration grows, and now the company is talking about layoffs. This could be the end of your American dream. You search for help, but luckily, you land on breakthroughusa.com. They listen, reassured you, and built your EB-1 case with precision. Then one day, a notification buzzes, EB-1 approved. With your EB-1 green card, your entire family can breathe.
I have got my visa. I got my visa.
That's why the law offices of Chris M. Ingram is trusted. Your future shouldn't wait. Let's talk EB-1.
What are the next steps?
Need help with your visa? Book your free consultation now at www.breakthroughusa.com and let us take care of you.
Okay, now let's turn to Chidi. His story really brings these points to life. Let's get into Chidi's background. Our researchers tell us he was born in Berlin, Germany, but his drive, his entrepreneurial spark, has these deep roots stretching back to Nigeria. His parents were Nigerian immigrants, and hearing their stories about financial struggles back home really shaped him.
That cross-cultural perspective is often powerful, isn't it?
Totally. Imagine growing up in a place like Germany, but being connected to stories of economic hardship elsewhere. It gives you a unique lens.
It transforms an abstract problem into something personal.
Exactly. And that personal connection often fuels the most powerful innovation. It becomes a mission.
And that connection was definitely crucial for Chidi. To understand his mission, you really need to look at his visits to Nigeria. Our researchers found these weren't just family holidays. They were eye-opening. He saw firsthand the challenges faced by everyday people. He saw small vendors, the heart of local economies, unable to accept digital payments, stuck with cash only.
Limiting their growth, increasing risk.
Severely limiting them, excluding them from the digital world. Imagine a busy market where every single transaction has to be physical cash. Hugely inefficient. And there's this one specific moment our researchers highlighted. Chidi said, and I quote, "Watching a fruit seller lose customers because she couldn't take card payments broke my heart."
Wow, that really hits home, the human cost.
Exactly. It's not abstract economics. It's real people losing real opportunities. That specific observation, that empathy, became the catalyst for his life's mission, democratizing financial access. It focused him on creating accessible solutions to empower those individuals. That personal drive is so potent in an NIW case because it elevates an idea. It shows why it's nationally important.
It stems from a deep understanding of the problem. That really paints a picture of his motivation. And what's fascinating is how his academic path then perfectly aligned with this mission. He went to the Technical University of Munich, a top school, studied computer science, focusing on fintech. Our researchers say he wasn't just learning theory, he was applying complex tech to real financial problems, showed that knack early on. And his undergraduate project, it really stood out. He ventured a blockchain-based payment solution.
Ahead of the curve there.
Totally. And it wasn't just a project, it won a University Innovation Award. That early recognition is significant. It shows potential, right? Not just smarts, but practical innovation.
Real-world application.
Then he made a really smart move, an MBA at INSEAD, world-class business school.
Bridging the tech and business gap.
Exactly. Honing those strategy skills. Learning how to take a great tech idea and make it viable, scalable, impactful in the market. Understanding both sides.
And that's what's so compelling. This synthesis. His personal motivation from Nigeria, combined with top-tier technical and business education. This unique blend positioned him perfectly to create something truly impactful, not just theoretical. He understood the human problem and had the skills to solve it at scale. And this brings up a point for you, our listener, thinking about your own NIW journey. How do your personal experiences, your unique insights, your specific expertise, how do they all come together to define your unique national interest contribution?
Right. That intersection of passion and capability.
That's often where the most compelling NIW cases lie. It shows not just what you can do, but why you're driven to do it, and why that makes your contribution vital for the U.S.
So what Chidi created was PayLink, launched in 2021, his entrepreneurial brainchild. And it wasn't just another app. It was a mobile payment platform designed specifically to help small businesses, especially those struggling with digital payments.
Addressing that core problem he observed.
Exactly. And the core idea is brilliantly simple and cost-effective. Merchants accept digital payments using smartphone QR codes. Think about that. It totally eliminates the need for expensive card readers or POS terminals. That's huge for small vendors.
A game changer for accessibility.
Right. That fruit seller, a street food vendor, a market artisan, they can instantly accept digital payments securely, affordably, just using their phone. It lowers that barrier to entry dramatically.
And the impact in Germany wasn't just theoretical, it was measurable and really impressive. Our researchers got the numbers. Within just 2 years, PayLink was used by over 15,000 small businesses across Germany.
Wow, 15,000 in 2 years. That's rapid adoption.
Speaks volumes about the need and the usability. And the platform processed transactions worth over $100 million.
$100 million. That's significant economic activity.
Absolutely. Facilitated directly by PayLink across the German small business sector. But there was more. PayLink also had this integrated analytics dashboard. That was a crucial value add.
So providing data insights?
Exactly. Real-time data on sales trends, peak hours, popular items, customer demographic stuff. Cash-only businesses just don't have. And these insights directly helped boost their profitability. They could make smarter decisions about inventory, marketing, everything.
Turning basic transactions into actionable intelligence.
Precisely. Fundamentally changing how they could operate and grow.
And the recognition PayLink got went beyond just users. Our researchers found it attracted substantial funding, $5 million in European venture capital.
That's serious investor confidence.
Totally. It signals belief in the tech and the market potential, validates the business model, and maybe even more significantly, it got acknowledged by the European Central Bank for advancing financial inclusion.
Institutional recognition, that's powerful.
Right. It shows it wasn't just a commercial success. A major financial authority saw its broader systemic impact on the economy, making digital finance accessible. That underscores its importance in Europe.
And what's really fascinating here is how this proven success in Germany directly maps onto its potential in the U.S. Those metrics, 15,000 businesses, $100 million processed, the VC funding, the ECB recognition, they aren't just numbers. In an NIW petition, that's crucial, concrete evidence. It shows a clear track record of significant impact.
Proof of concept, essentially.
Exactly.
Right.
USCIS wants proof of capability and past success, not just promises. Chidi provided that. It shows his endeavor isn't theoretical. It's already worked in a comparable developed economy. This massively strengthens the argument that he's well-positioned to advance it in the U.S. Gives the petition real weight.
Okay, so PayLink is a proven success in Germany. The natural question then is, why the U.S.? It's a big jump. What was the strategy behind expanding here?
That's a key question, and our researchers provide the context that makes his decision really compelling for U.S. national interests. Even though the U.S. has a sophisticated financial system, financial exclusion is still a major issue here. The FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, reports that 5.4% of U.S. households are unbanked.
5.4%. That's Millions of people without basic banking.
Millions. Locked out of checking, savings, credit, direct deposit, online payments, a huge segment excluded from the modern economy. And at the same time, our researchers note, many U.S. small businesses, especially in underserved or rural areas, still struggle with outdated payment systems. They might be cash only or using clunky, expensive POS systems. Limits their growth, their competitiveness.
So financial exclusion isn't just a developing world issue, it's right here.
It's a pressing issue right here. And PayLink, with its proven, low-cost, user-friendly model, offers a direct, elegant solution to these exact problems in the U.S. That makes Chidi's expansion plan not just opportunistic, but potentially deeply impactful here.
And PayLink's potential impact here is multifaceted, right? It addresses both the unbanked and the small businesses. First, empowering those small businesses, especially in underserved communities. Giving them a cost-effective way to accept digital payments opens up new markets for them.
Levels the playing field a bit.
Exactly. It enables economic vitality, helps them compete, but it goes further. Our researchers highlight the data aspect. PayLink's analytics could give policymakers invaluable, real-time insights into economic trends in these communities.
Granular data on performance, activity, where exclusion is hurting growth.
Right. That could inform policy, make it more targeted and effective. And this aligns with national priorities. Our researchers noted PayLink's potential impact lines up perfectly with the U.S. Treasury's 2024 initiative focused on enhancing financial access.
So it directly supports a stated government goal.
Precisely. It's not just a good idea, it helps achieve a national objective. And then there's the broader socioeconomic picture. PayLink could boost economic equality by bridging that digital divide for businesses and customers.
Creating opportunities, integrating more people into the formal economy.
Which in turn has huge potential for job creation, both directly at PayLink and indirectly through the growth of the small businesses it serves. So it's not just transactions, it's fostering a more inclusive, resilient national economy, tackling disparity and growth.
They said my EB1 needed more categories. I can't even dock. What am I gonna do?
I need to find the right lawyer that can navigate me through this crisis. I need my EB1 so my new life can begin. These lawyers are amazing. They are walking me through every questions, making sure I don't miss a thing. Thanks to the law offices of Chris M. Ingram, I'm cleared to land. But my career is gonna take off.
Houston. He got his visa.
Need help with your visa? Book your free consultation now at www.breakthroughusa.com and let us take care of you.
And if we tie this back specifically to the NIW criteria, matter of Dhanasar, PayLink's potential U.S. impact aligns powerfully with all three prompts.
Okay, let's break that down.
First, national importance. Is it? Absolutely. By tackling those FDIC stats on the unbanked, empowering thousands of small businesses nationwide, especially in underserved areas, and directly supporting that U.S. Treasury initiative on financial access, that's a clear national priority. It's strengthening the whole country's economic fabric.
Far beyond just local impact.
Second, is he well positioned to advance it? Unequivocally, yes. His proven success in Germany, the 15,000 businesses, $100 million processed, the VC funding, the ECB nod, that's an undeniable track record. Combine that with his fintech expertise, his in-seat MBA, his demonstrated ability to scale, he's proven he can execute.
It's not just an idea, it's a proven model ready for the U.S. market.
And third, do the benefits outweigh the labor certification requirement? Given the unique solution for a significant underserved U.S. problem, and the clear economic and social benefits empowering businesses, providing policy insights, promoting equality, creating jobs? The answer is a clear yes. He's filling a critical gap that the normal labor certification process wouldn't address. He's bringing an innovative solution to a nationally important problem aligned with U.S. policy.
And making that explicit link in the petition is key then.
Absolutely critical. Translating real-world impact into the precise legal language USCIS needs.
Okay, so Chidi has this compelling case. But this is where his story takes a really crucial turn, highlighting why skilled legal help is so vital. His goal was clear: expand PayLink to Silicon Valley. Logical next step. And the NIW seemed perfect, bypassing that often lengthy labor certification process, allowing him to self-sponsor based on national interest.
But despite his strong background and PayLink's success, our researchers found he hit a major setback right away. His initial NIW petition was filed by an attorney who, unfortunately, lacked experience in these complex cases. and it failed USCIS standards.
Oh no. What went wrong specifically?
Our researchers identified key flaws. It lacked robust U.S. market data. It didn't adequately show the specific quantifiable need for paling here, despite the German success. And it didn't provide enough concrete evidence of the economic impact on the U.S. economy, job creation, broader benefits. It failed to connect those dots, specifically for the U.S. And the immediate result, a request for evidence, an RFE, from USCIS.
Which is basically USCIS saying, we need more information. There are gaps here.
Exactly, a signal of significant weaknesses. And for Chidi, this was devastating. Our researchers relayed his reaction. I felt betrayed. He talked about sleepless nights, worrying about his future. It really underscores the emotional toll these setbacks take. It's not just paperwork. It's someone's dream on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. The stakes are incredibly high. And this is where experienced legal counsel, specifically attorney Chris M. Ingram and our team, stepped in, making that pivotal difference. They essentially had to rebuild his petition from the ground up, not just tweaks, a complete strategic overhaul.
Transforming a failing application.
Right. They understood they needed an unassailable case to overcome that RFE and the initial flaws, address every potential USCIS concern. So how did they do it? Our legal team gathered and integrated really specific, robust evidence that was missing before. They got powerful letters from U.S. economic development organizations. These substantiated paling's national relevance here, affirming the need and anticipated impact.
Direct U.S. validation.
Exactly. They also integrated those FDIC stats much more powerfully, directly linking his work to the recognized national problem of financial exclusion here. And they presented robust, detailed projections of U.S. job creation, turning the vision into tangible economic benefits for the country. And crucially, they coached Chidi intensively, prepared him not just to answer questions, but to clearly, confidently, persuasively articulate paling's national importance in any interviews or follow-ups.
Being able to present the case effectively under scrutiny.
It's critical. It's one thing to have the evidence, it's another to present it compellingly. This holistic approach, evidence plus personal preparation, was key to turning it around.
Absolutely. Chidi's case really shows the difference experienced counsel makes. It's not just document compilation. It's about strategically telling the story of the applicant's national interest, weaving together their background, the innovation, the success, the projected impact into a cohesive, compelling, legally sound narrative.
Backed by evidence and tied to Dhanasar.
Exactly. And it shows an RFE isn't necessarily the end. It's a serious challenge, yes, but it can be overcome with the right expertise and a comprehensive strategy. It's an opportunity to provide more depth, more clarity, more persuasive evidence, strengthen the whole petition, paint that clear picture of national benefit.
Okay, so the petition is rebuilt, much stronger. Now we get to the next critical stage, Chidi's consular interview in Berlin with USCIS officers. This is really the moment of truth, right? All the prep leads to this face-to-face, high stakes, paling's future in the U.S. hanging in the balance.
And our legal team got feedback from Chidi about this interview. It wasn't straightforward. Our researchers highlighted that the USCIS officers specifically questioned the consistency of his business plan.
Consistency, meaning, did all the pieces align perfectly?
Pretty much. From the German success to the U.S. projections, how it would actually function and be sustained here. They were probing for weaknesses, subtle discrepancies, and, as our researchers noted earlier, there might have been that nuanced underlying factor. The questioning possibly influenced by his Nigerian heritage, which can sometimes trigger additional scrutiny due to those broader fraud prevention focuses.
So even with a strong rebuilt case, that extra layer of scrutiny.
It appears so. This kind of nuanced scrutiny means applicants need an incredibly solid, consistent narrative and need to be exceptionally prepared to articulate and defend every single aspect, leaving no room for doubt.
Requires that extra level of preparedness, makes the pre-interview coaching even more vital. So Chidi goes through this tough interview. His dream is on the line. He awaits the decision. The big question hangs there. Would his vision for a financially inclusive America falter? Or would paling finally get its chance in the U.S.?
Well, after what must have felt like an incredibly long wait for Chidi, the news came. And we are thrilled to report, based on our team's follow-up, that Chidi's National Interest Waiver petition was ultimately approved.
That's fantastic news. So it worked out in the end.
It did. The intensive preparation, the rebuilt petition, his clear articulation during that challenging interview, despite the scrutiny, it all proved successful. That strategic evidence, the letters from U.S. economic groups, the economic projections, his proven German track record. It convinced USCIS. national importance, well-positioned to advance. Chidi is now actively setting up PayLink's U.S. operations in Silicon Valley. He secured initial seed funding from American investors who were impressed by the model and its potential here.
Already getting traction.
Yes, his team is already working with community development financial institutions, piloting PayLink in underserved neighborhoods, putting the vision into practice.
That's incredible. What a journey.
It really is.
Yeah.
And his success story underlines a powerful lesson. Setbacks, RFEs, heightened scrutiny they can be overcome with a robust, well-articulated, strategically supported petition. It's a testament to resilience, preparation, and the absolutely critical role of expert legal guidance. His case shows an RFE or a tough interview is a challenge, not a dead end, if you have the right strategy.
Chidi's journey really does capture that resilience and strategic prep needed for an NIW. It reminds us it takes innovation, yes, but also unwavering detail and expert guidance to turn that vision into a successful petition.
How personal drive, academic rigor, proven success, and legal support all come together.
And his case is a great reminder that the NIW is about unique, demonstrable, nationally important contributions. Impact, not just credentials.
Exactly. And for anyone listening who's considering this path, the key takeaway is to meticulously map your unique expertise and project to those explicit Dhanasar criteria. Leave no ambiguity about your potential national impact. Build a case that's legally sound and compelling. Show not just what you do, but why it truly matters to the United States.
So as we wrap up this part, maybe a final thought for you, our listener. In your own field, what pressing national challenge or gap are you uniquely positioned to address? How could your specific expertise offer a solution that goes beyond local impact, resonates nationally, and makes an indispensable contribution here?
Identifying that intersection of your passion and a genuine national need, that's where the strongest NIW cases are often found. And to keep exploring these complexities and look at long-term outcomes after approval, we'll pick things up in Part 4. We'll dive into what happens next and introduce another fascinating case. Sanjay, a French educator aiming to transform lives here through his unique contributions.
Sounds great. Another compelling journey highlighting resilience and impact. Thank you so much for being with us today. We hope you gained a lot from this discussion. Once again, we would like to thank attorney Chris Ingram and his team for researching and preparing this material for our presentation today. They are doing an awesome job. Please leave us a comment if you can, as it really means a lot to all the staff. If you'd like to book a free consultation, please visit www.breakthroughusa.com. See you next time on Let's Talk U.S. Immigration. Bye for now.